Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Fan Perspective. I am your host Nathan Lyle, and here is what's happened over the weekend. The Miami Heat have now won 26 straight games. The Denver Nuggets have now won 15 in a row. And as I expected, they have leapfrogged the Clippers and the Grizzlies for third place in the West. And if you don't already, you should start considering them legitimate contenders for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. The New York Knicks have now won 4 in a row and continue fighting it out with the Pacers for that second seed. The Rockets have now won 3 in a row. Meanwhile, the Magic have lost 6 in a row. The Cavs have lost 5 in a row. The Celtics, Jazz, and Raptors have lost 4 in a row. The Suns and Bucks have lost 3 in a row. And in playoff news, the New York Knicks, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Memphis Grizzlies have all clinched a playoff berth. So we now have the top half of both the Eastern and Western Conference playoffs locked up. And Phoenix and New Orleans have both been officially eliminated from playoff contention. No real shock there. A few milestones this week. First of all, Jason Kidd is 2 games behind Clifford Robinson for 7th place on the all-time list. The next game that Steve Nash plays will tie him with Derek Harper and Eddie Johnson for 28th all-time, and the next one after that will be the 1200th of his career. Kobe is now 42 made field goals behind Elvin Hayes for 6th place on the all-time list. Dirk Nowitzki is 20 behind Elgin Baylor for 20th on the all-time list, and Vince Carter is 22 behind George Gervin and Terry Cummings for 33rd. Kevin Martin is 11 made three-pointers away from 900 for his career. Steve Blake is 3 away from 800 for his career. And Stephen Curry is 4 away from 600. Tim Duncan is 4 offensive rebounds behind Larry Smith for 15th all-time. Zach Randolph is 5 away from 2,300 for his career. And Paul Gasol is 7 away from 2,300 for his career. Dirk Nowitzki is 28 defensive rebounds behind Kevin Willis for 15th all-time. Kobe is now 101 career points behind Wilt Chamberlain for 4th place on the all-time list. I really hate this motherfucker and I don't like talking about him, but mad respect. Before the end of the month, and very likely within the next week or two, he's going to pass the guy that dropped 100 in one game. So for 4th place on the all-time list, there are currently only 4 people in the recorded history of basketball statistics that have scored more points than Kobe Bryant, and soon that'll be shortened to 3. That's an amazing thing to put on your resume. Though once again, I will reiterate that I hate the motherfucker. Anyways, a few games that I'm looking forward to this coming week. On Monday, there are 8 games on the schedule, and only 2 of them are between teams that both have winning records. First, you've got the Hawks at the Pacers. The final meeting between these teams, the Pacers have already clinched the playoff berth, and Atlanta looks to do the same. The Hawks have a 2-1 lead on the series. However, the home team has won every single game in this series. Then you've got the Lakers at the Warriors. The Lakers are on a losing streak and look to turn that around before they fall out of the playoffs. And on Tuesday, only 3 games being played, but once again, 2 of them hold some mild interest. You've got the Knicks at the Celtics. They split the first 2 meetings, and the away team won each of those games. Then you've got the Clippers at the Mavericks. This is the last game in the series, and Dallas has yet to beat the Clippers. They are still in playoff contention, but they need to put together some big winning streaks if they want to have a legitimate shot. And then on Wednesday, a full game slate, 14 games are being played. The majority of them, in my opinion, aren't worth looking at, but here are a few that really stick out to me. First, you've got the Grizzlies at the Knicks. The Grizzlies have fallen to the 5th place in the West and will look to get a win and fight their way back into that top 4. The Knicks, meanwhile, yes, they've clinched the playoff berth, but I'm sure they'd much rather be the 2nd seed than the 3rd. So they expect them to keep coming out swinging. And then you've got the Heat at the Bulls. These teams split their first 2 meetings with the away team winning each time. So, who knows? This could be the one where we finally see the Heat winning streak come to the end. Or they could just keep marching on with no end in sight. Are they going to hit 30? Who knows? You also got the Pacers at the Rockets Indiana won the first meeting, but the Pacers are still under 500 on the road. And then you've got the Nuggets at the Spurs, which for me, the game of the week, because this could be the game that either ends the Nuggets winning streak or shifts the balance of power in the Western Conference. These teams split their first meetings with the home team winning each time. No shock there, because these two teams combined have a record of 62 wins and 7 losses in home games this season. That means that both of them have combined to play 69 games in each of their respective home stadiums for a total of 7 losses. However, this time, as I said, it is the Nuggets in San Antonio, and the Nuggets are still under 500 on the road. I think, in fact, the Nuggets and the Pacers are the only two teams that have clinched a playoff berth that are under 500 on the road. Just thought I'd point that out there. Anyways, on Thursday, there are 3 games being played, and yeah, I'm not watching basketball on Thursday. You can if you want to. I don't plan on it. But you know what I do plan on doing? I plan on making another episode of The Fan Perspective on Friday. So look for that. And until then, I am your host, Nathan Lyle. This has been NBA Weekly. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good Monday. Have a good week. See you on Friday.